Welcome to the World History 1 lecture series. At the end of each slide there will be a 10-second delay. Use this time to pause the presentation and complete your notes. When you are done, push play and you will move forward. This lecture will begin in 5 seconds. Welcome to World History 1 Lecture 7.2 on Byzantine Contributions and Achievements, and here's Rod Serling. You know, the guy who created the Twilight Zone. You see, Serling was a master at creating something called alternate reality, where people thought they were in one place, but they were actually somewhere else. For example, our friend here on the right has been trying to get out of this house, but when he opens the front door, he discovers that he's in a dollhouse. Well, this idea of alternate reality works well when studying the Byzantine Empire. And here's what I mean. The building in front of you is the Hagia Sophia. It's one of the most recognizable buildings in the world, and it's located in Constantinople. Since it's part of the old Roman Empire, we expect this building to look Roman, and it does. It has a dome just like the Pantheon, and it has that classic Roman arch, but it doesn't look classically Roman. It doesn't look like something we would find in the city of Rome. Where's the white marble? Where's the Corinthian columns? And what are these things? So, this could be something that we would find in the city of Rome, but it doesn't look exactly right. And you're going to see a lot of that as we study the Byzantine Empire, which developed differently after the fall of Rome. With that said, go to the next slide. The Byzantine Empire lasts a long time, but it reaches its height early in its history, and it's because of this guy, Justinian, who we call the last of the Romans. Justinian is emperor of the Byzantine Empire from 527 to 565 CE. This is less than 100 years after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Now, he does two things. He temporarily regained former Roman land in Carthage and Italy from 535 to 553 CE, and he supported expansion of trade. In other words, he's trying to reunite parts of the Roman Empire just like Constantine. And you're going to see this throughout the rest of this course, people trying to unite parts or all of the Roman Empire. The empire achieves its height in cultural and economic prosperity during Constantine's reign. Go to the next slide. Laws have been part of Roman civilization since they were first carved into the 12 tables way back in the days of the early Republic. These laws evolved and eventually covered all aspects of Roman life. So when Rome splits in two and begins to fall apart, somebody says, we need to go out there and find all these Roman laws and put them in one place. That person is Justinian, who created the Code of Justinian, or the Corpus Loris Civilis, in 529 CE. And what Justinian does is really cool. Justinian codified or wrote down existing Roman laws, including natural law, law of nations, and civil law. And it's this code that would impact European legal codes for generations. Justinian believed that justice is the constant and perpetual wish to render to everyone his due. In other words, everyone deserves justice. There's just one problem. Justinian is also ruthless, and he suppresses something called the Nika Revolt in 532 CE. He goes in and ignores all of this law and basically ends a revolt violently. This leads to a bad political riot and lasting social issues. How bad was this political riot? Like burning down half of Constantinople bad. So now we have an emperor who has all these laws. The question is, will he follow them? Go to the next slide. Justinian may have been the last of the Romans, but the way he ruled the Byzantine Empire is just a bit different than the Roman emperors before him. And the same thing is going to happen when it comes to religion. So now we're going to talk about the Greek Orthodox Church. Greek Orthodox Christianity is recognized in the Byzantine Empire after 1054 CE, and it is different than Roman Christianity. We'll cover all those differences next class. What you need to know is this: the Orthodox Church creates these cultural works. These are works of art and architecture that can be traced directly back to the Byzantine Empire. Icons are sacred works of art portraying religious images that provide inspiration and connect the worshiper with the spiritual world. Mosaic is the art of creating images with an assemblage of small pieces of colored glass, stone, or other material found in public and religious structures. What does that mean? Basically, these are giant jigsaw puzzles made out of pieces of rock, glass, stone, jewels, and things like that. Architecture, like the Hagia Sophia, that's the domed church that we've already seen, that's located in Constantinople, and we start seeing this type of stuff around 360 CE. These are images, art, and architecture that can be found in the Byzantine Empire. Go to the next slide. While there are slight differences between the Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire, there is one thing that stays the same. The Byzantine military still thinks like imperial Romans. The Byzantine military is a powerful force that fends off invading barbarians. The barbarians sweep into the Western Roman Empire and take over everything because no one can stop them. They cannot sweep into the Eastern Roman Empire because the Byzantine army stops them before they get to places like Constantinople. But it's not just the army. The Byzantine navy is powerful and defends Constantinople on three sides. You can't take over Constantinople by sea because the navy will stop you, and you can't invade the Byzantine Empire by land because the army's there. And then there's this secret weapon. You see, here's how it works. The Muslims try to invade Constantinople. We're going to talk about the Muslims next unit. But the Byzantine navy uses Greek fire to defeat the Muslim navy during the siege of Constantinople. Greek fire is a gel-like gasoline that does not go out easily. We call that stuff napalm. It is deadly, it is scary, and nobody will mess with the Byzantine military for a long time. Go to the next slide. So the Byzantine Empire is kind of like the Twilight Zone. It looks like the old Roman Empire, but there are these slight differences. And it's these differences that help us preserve one important thing. That's Greco-Roman culture. Because here's what happens. The Byzantine Empire becomes the last civilized place in Western civilization after the fall of Rome. Western Europe is in chaos. The Middle East is in near chaos. Only the Byzantine Empire stands strong at this point in history. The empire uses the Greek language instead of Latin. We do not speak Latin as a language today. We call it a dead language. We still speak Greek and can translate books and papers from the classical era. So, again, it's all Greek to me. And finally, we got to talk about that ark. No, not that ark, but the same idea. We're talking about Byzantine libraries, which act as repositories of Greek and Roman knowledge. Without libraries, we would probably not know any of the history. you were taught this year. That's it for this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in class.